Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley and this is video log number 56. What you see is what you get. This applies to reality. So things that we can test, we go through in flat earth all the time, but we also tie them with a whole load of theory. And I'm not going to name any names of people because I will always maintain that I've researched a lot of the things that people like scream and shout and get annoyed with and disappointed with, and basically I have to sometimes even unsubscribe from certain channels because I get so frustrated with what the people say. And it's because there's lots of attainable proofs with flat earth. We can go out, like Jeranism says, and look at the horizon at the beach, watch the boat go over the horizon, and then pick up a camera and zoom back in. Now, I say what you see is what you get because my sister used to have, ironically, a boat. And when they bought the boat, that's what they titled it. The letters that spell out what you see is what you get, or WYSIWYG, was the name of their boat. And it occurs to me when we are constantly bombarded with the square screen media, you can probably see me linking lots of different people's points here together, but Math Powerland pointed out that when we watch proof of the globe Earth, it's always presented to us in the square screen arena that is our TV. And the same can be true in a very 1984 way when we go back and look at the proofs that give us the globe and the books that we're presented with and the information that we're presented with. Now, when we find information like this out, we quickly realise that there's loads of ways of proving it to ourselves. So we quickly go outside and do it. We pick up our zoom camera and we look at the boat coming back into view and have a little revelation. But then, like all human beings, we need answers. We can't stomach the idea of not knowing things. And everybody who asks me questions, I'm guilty of this myself when I'll throw a theory into the mix to just give somebody an answer. And really made me think when Jeranism gave one of the most superb answers I've ever heard when I asked him what his beliefs were. And he essentially said that he didn't like to have beliefs, he liked to have proofs. And you think, yeah, that's so eloquent to phrase it in that way. And it's so true. I can scream and shout and get really annoyed about crazy theories all I like. But in reality, it only takes somebody to put a comment on one of their videos that says, well, show me it in reality, demonstrate it, and I'll believe you. And this is why flat earth gets so much love and so much abuse. It's frustrating to not be able to disprove something so outrageously wacky. You know, again, Jeranism or Jeran is correct. When you say this to somebody, they have the reaction that he had, which is to say, no, 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 that's insane. We can't possibly go back further than 500 years. And Jeran sold books, or still does as far as I know, sell books, old books that show this. And he's obviously reading this stuff all the time and seeing where stuff doesn't add up. And like in 1984, or many of the truths are hidden in plain sight, what you see is what you get. They will tell us the powers that should not be, how they manipulate us. And when people say, well, who are these powers? Again, what you see is what you get. The people who are in charge are, not surprisingly, the people who are in charge. And while their lies might be generational, and while the people lower down the rungs may not be in on the lies while they continue to perpetuate them, Brian Cox immediately springs to mind, you still have this lie that's easy to disprove, unlike clone centres or any of the alien stuff that we're presented on our square screen that we then dream about later and decide that that's real. Unfortunately, none of these dreamers will ever be able to provide you with a shred of proof, unless you believe that not Friday the 13th, what's the one with the guy with the claws? He goes into your dreams and somebody manages to pull his jumper back. Nightmare on Elm Street, that's the one. Freddy Krueger. No one's ever going to have a jumper from Freddy Krueger when it comes to things like clone centres, but we'll always be able to zoom in on that boat when it comes to flat earth. So I think I've been needlessly worrying, and thanks to Jeranism, I can get back to the reality. That's what it all boils down to. What you see is what you get. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you in the next one.